Hello, it's Funday Monday. If you're watching this, it means that Sean decided to vex me and not choose both my submissions. Well, realistically, I just need some more casting practice, and that's why we're doing this replay also with the Game Heart interface. You can see there are a lot of options there. We're going to pretend that this is a best of 5, that's 2-2, to make it extra exciting. So that's Control Shift 5 and then Shift Control. And we have learned that no, I do not know how to use the Game Heart interface. Some other time. Do you want to look at the loading screen? The borders are plat versus silver. Because normally I am platinum, a level at which I've gotten due to my excellent 7-roach rush. My 7-roach rush absolutely wrecks anyone below diamond. And if I do it to anyone roughly diamond or above, I have lost immediately. But other than that, this is the ladder build to get up to diamond, if you ask me. Unfortunately, being in the AHDL, I have a team that wants me to beat diamond players for a change. So we're going to have to learn something else. 7 Reaper Rush. At least DMR did remember this is TVT. So the R couldn't have been Roach, unless I'm off race. And the 7 Reaper Rush, good idea. I would give it a try sometime, next time that I'm just having a fun day, but unfortunately, I don't like doing the strategy my opponent just suggested. It feels like such a mind game loss that it's just not worth it. So, got scouting SCVs coming out. Waving, shaking hands. Ooh, backstabber. It's a bit vicious, isn't he? But at least I delayed his scout. Well, I got my scout off just fine. Yes, it would be too late to start a 7 Reaper Rush. The fact that I haven't actually gotten any gas. I do like my gasless opening, even though it's really, really dumb. And has great problems in any game, TVT especially, where you're not going to just do a 4 to 6 rash mass marine all in, which is impossible on maps this large anyways. I think he's going to keep it. So, extra gas and a reactor. Now I'm worried about the 7 Reaper Rush. Although the 7 Reaper Rush, you normally build 1 to start with, and then the reactor brings in the next 6. By this point, he does have a scout. He sees gasless. He sees triple barracks. And doesn't see the command center. So he's probably expecting some sort of crazy aggressive all-in. Ooh, hides the first factory. Quite sneaky. He does seem a little confused, though, the results of his scout. This is not how you open for the 7 Reaper Rush. 7 Reaper Rush requires gas. This is the gasless. And if you want to defend against 7 Reapers with a gasless build, you'd better have Marines lining this ridge. So that's what we're going to do. He hid the factory very well. So I did not know that he's actually going for something mech here. And we've got our expand coming up before him. That's good. The only problem is the hiding the factory way over there. It's not like lifting up buildings and moving them has appreciable travel time when they're in the same base. But this is like just popping down to the store, and the store is in New Jersey, and you're in New York. The vast majority of locations are not going to be quick enough. There's the second factory, the reactor. The barracks had time to build a tech lab in the time it took the factory to get over there. I think that means 25 seconds, so keep that in mind. We've got a command center. So this isn't some sort of all-in mech, that's good. Another Marine's lining the ridge, just in case. I have very bad intel right now. But as always, this is the Funday Monday aggressive turtle Terran, so we're starting with a strong defensive front at our base. Aggressive turtle Terran doesn't have to bunker rush, doesn't have to try an eBay block. I do not recommend eBay block against Terran. Now I have some intel. I can see that this is mech. This is not the 7 Reaper rush. I can relax. And by relax, I mean worry about a Hellion drop. But at least I've got a wall. And he has scanned so far to see that, yes, I've got my expansion, I've got a lot of Marines. He might still be expecting some sort of Marine all in. I don't know what happened to that command center. Maybe he changed his mind. Decided, now I want more Hellions. Why do I want... he's got just Marines, right? Why should I just go Hellion all in? And the wall, by the way, is the answer. Walls are greater than Hellions. Similar to how in the last game we found that bunkers managed to negate the High Templar beat Marines rule. Well, it's the same with Hellions. And yeah, need more reactors if we're going Marine all in. But this time we have some gas. We're getting the factory. We're going to have some siege tanks pretty soon. Now you can see that this is a wall with bunkers, so the Hellions won't be an insta-win. But that's okay, he's got tanks. Tank, Marauder, enough Hellions that the Marines can't come forward. That's enough for an initial push. So let's see how long it takes to get over here. Fortunately, he did not go very quickly to build that tank. Or build the second one. So my still late gas isn't going to be that bad. Let's move out and take a third. Oh, they moved out of the way of the silhouette. How nice of them. That's not nice. What happened to the nice Hellions? Well, nice Hellions just don't win. And there's some of that easy damage, bunker versus Hellion, but bunker versus siege tank, not the best. And that tank's actually quite delayed. I was wrong. No way it's going to be there in time. Fortunately, the SCVs are here to buy time. This is your plan? What, you run out of siege tanks? Anyway, we've got a ton of Marines that we can't use, and SCVs buying time. But the tank will get out eventually. And then we'll be okay. The scan actually reveals this tank, so he knows it's coming. And it's placed outside scan range, so he can't hit it. Moving out. But this brief moment of unsiege was not capitalized very well, but it might be all I need. There we go. We snipe the tank. We can retreat back behind our concrete nappy. Yes. And it's defensive Turtle Terran to start with, as our aggressive mech opponent. And I've been watching a lot of Get Smart recently, so there's the constant joke he keeps doing. I have 7 Reapers outside your base. Would you believe it? 7 Reapers! Would you believe 1 Reaper? Would you believe a smoking corpse? That was actually supposed to scout, but all it scouted was that he didn't have his expansion yet, and did he notice? Yes. So, would you believe 1 Reaper rush? Well, it found his death wasn't in vain. There was some scouting. Looks like he's now going to be on the defensive. Now, I really don't like this, having the Hellions back here, because I still don't have anything but Marines. Hellions in the front, how am I supposed to move forward and take a third? Fortunately, he's not going to move. He thinks that, oh, I'm back, massing Marines. He'd better turtle up. But no, this is just going to give me time. So he goes for Thor and some more Hellbats. We've got a very classic sort of mech composition here. The upgrades are a little slow, but still quite classic. Looks like the appearance of a single tank has made me a little too timid. But we do have our third built. It just needs to fly away to a nice place. And now that we know he's doing nothing, may as well expand. This is the perfect time to start building bunkers. Because that's what we're doing today, building bunkers. The maligned bunker, you know, at the start of Wings of Liberty, even back when the salvage value was 100%, you still rarely saw bunkers. Because no one wants to build a stacked defense that does nothing on its own. But now they're back. They're back in style. They have these cute little stars on them, and the stars are so happy. The only problem with this unit decal is that it's so big and bright yellow that I can't tell. Are those red Marines or yellow Marines? Are those Carl's Jr. Marines or Dominion Marines? It's really hard to tell. And now, of course, we start expanding the defenses up alongside the ravine. Good job with the Hellions, though. He's caught it, and I'm forced to fall back to the 3rd, which has its bunkers built up. And this is an interesting mech composition. Thor for anti-air. Probably good enough. I just add some SCVs for repairs, and this is probably quite a good attacking force. The question is, how do you use it? Getting the tanks up separate, not so great. Marines shooting down from the high ground. Your tanks aren't covering that. They do have position on this bunker. That's good. So this is going to force the defensive line to kind of pivot and drop the left flank. Focus on holding the orbital command. Well, his siege tank support from the left. Good use of the Thor range there. The siege tank does have superior range. See what he's going to do. Siege tank not having the best positioning. Looks like he's going to get out alive. Okay. And he recognizes that I am going for the high ground. But he's going to do anything about that? No. No, not today. Build some more command centers, the secret backbone to Turtle Terran. And we're just pushing the defensive line forward up along the left side of the ravine. We've got some tanks there, covered by bunkers. We're going to have to get rid of these rocks. Come on, guys. You can do it. And the tank was told to go there, but it can't actually get there. So he's going to try and navigate himself instead of leaving it to the co-pilot. Poor guy. 3 armor rocks. Plus the Marines, we've got a chance. Now we start to build the defenses. Now a keen-eyed player will notice, as I will later find out, that's in the way of the planetary. But a less keen-eyed player like me is just going to keep building that stack defense with a single SCV. It's a shame we really lost the bunker there. The bunker there was actually needed to cover a vital part of the approach, but it looks like I forgot. And now, sneaking out along the other side, he knows the stack defense is along this side. And he can strike over here, where it's weak, far away from the head of the assault. So, some good positional thinking from DMR here. The sensor tower will give me a little bit of warning, but remember, that's shown to him too. He's going to wait outside of it and then charge in. I'm going to have to bring everything back. Gonna have to... anytime now. No, I think this is when I realize, oh, I have to get rid of that and land. So that's a good siege tank position right there. Very hard for me to assault with my defensive line off to the side here. I should be able to salvage most of the SCVs. One thing he's missing, the classic counterpart, is of course Vikings for the air vision. Scans are okay, but they're just not quite enough. Now that the scan's gone, up there is no longer revealed. Thor got a little too close there. And without the Thor, it looks like he wants to retreat, doesn't like the idea of getting stuck there with no anti-air. And of course, there's the high ground. Unfortunately, we have positions along the ravine, ready to shell the approach as you retreat down it. And there we go, shell the approach! If that bunker was filled, might have even done more. Heavy losses, retreating through an enemy-held ravine. Well, That's a very disheartening point, especially since he hasn't taken these gases. Only 2 base now versus 4 base. And the defensive line is up here. He's going to be relying on mostly Hellbats to break an intense trench position. Not what you want. The Hellbats with their all that bonus damage versus light. Yeah, bunkers aren't light. So the resource constraints give him a terrible time, but he does have plenty of cash. He could double expand quite easily, my guess, from the aggressiveness of his mech play. He's just not used to 2 or 3 bases. He'd rather the game be over by now. So just trying to look like I'm going to build a planetary there, but actually we're expanding where he'll least expect unless he walks right under the command center as it flies to that location. Yeah, that's some good timing. They've got the troops trickling up. We don't have the defenses set up well. Mines still need to burrow. We have a planetary and 2 bunkers. And there we go. Hellbats versus bunker planetary. Not the best. And with all the Hellbats down, he declines to continue the siege. Just suffered too many losses when they ran through the ravine with enemy artillery dialing in his position. This is the closest we've come to a scene out of World War I. But I suppose things have changed a lot in the 300 or so years from World War I to when StarCraft is set. And that is the Turtle Terran moving forward. Funday Monday. Thank you all for watching the Ravine of Death. Good night.